Welcome to the John 3:16 Stories of Hope podcast, where we talk to people who have overcome addiction and alcoholism at John 3:16 Ministries. I'm your host, Lisa Fisher. Now let's hear another inspiring story from a resident or graduate of John 3:16 Ministries. Okay, we've got another female resident. Love having the sisters on the program so we can get a different perspective. Tell me your name and where you're from.
I am Alyssa Draffin, and I'm from Millington, Tennessee.
How long have you been at John 3:16 Ministries?
For about 5 months now.
5 months, okay. So that means you have the option of graduating soon. Is that accurate?
Yes, ma'am.
And what's your decision? Are you waiting?
I am going to go home. I have a daughter to get home to and a new grandbaby.
You do not look old enough to have a grandbaby.
Well, thank you.
Kind of tell me your story. What led you to John 3:16 Ministries?
I've been struggling with alcohol for a good while now. My daughter's father was very abusive, and I got married to an abusive person as well, and it just all kind of went downhill from there, and I just was self-medicating with alcohol.
How many years?
6.
Tell me how old you are.
I am 37.
Okay, so you're in your early 30s and you start drinking. Was that a pattern that you'd experienced early in your life? Did you have parents who drank? Or did you just one day at 32 say, this is how I'm going to cope?
I just one day realized that I can drink and not think about things.
It really self-medicates, doesn't it?
Yeah, it did.
Tell me about your growing up years.
Growing up, I had a great life. I have 2 very supportive, loving parents. I've got loving aunts and uncles, cousins. I had a great childhood.
Was alcohol part of your family celebrations growing up?
Yes, absolutely.
And did you look at it differently than you did when you realized you had a problem?
I definitely looked at it differently. But also, like, when my family saw that it became an issue for me, they kind of chilled out on the drinking at family functions for me.
Could you tell they were, or did they tell you?
I could tell they were. They weren't drinking.
And in the past, they had been.
Right.
So how old are did you say do we know how old your kids are?
I have one daughter. She's 19.
Okay, 19.
Mhm.
Who came to you then and said, Mom, I think you have a drinking problem?
It was actually my mom and dad. They kind of let me know while I was still married that if I didn't get things together, I was going to be divorced soon. And I didn't believe them, but they were right.
They were right. Mom
Yeah.
and dads are always right.
They usually are.
Yeah, you hate to tell them that. So in this situation, your daughter was almost old enough that the state doesn't have to come in, right?
Correct.
Okay, that's a little different from some of the stories we hear there at the ministries. There are some people who are torn apart then by, in Arkansas, it's Department of Human Services, DHS comes in. It's different in different states. In Tennessee, I'm sure it's something else. So at 32 is when you started turning to the bottle to self-medicate. At what point during those 5 years did you think, I'm really in trouble?
Probably right when I got divorced, when my husband left me. I realized I was literally throwing everything away. I lost a good career. I was doing sheet metal and ductwork, and I lost that job, lost my house, my husband. I mean, I lost a lot.
There's a term for alcoholism where people that feel like they can't get away from it. That's a slow onset. It's insidious. That's what that term is. It's just, it's progressive. Like you're just having a few beers, then you're having a few beers and some vodka, and then you wake up and you have to have it all.
Right.
When do you feel like, Alyssa, that went from bad to worse?
It kind of happened pretty quick for me.
Really? That's an
Yeah.
interesting
Yeah.
take on that, because so many people, that's why they say, well, alcohol's not a problem.
But it definitely is.
Was it a gateway to you to try other things?
No, ma'am. I just drank alcohol.
That may have been all you had time for.
Yeah, because I was either drunk or asleep.
Yeah, it's almost your job.
Yes.
Did you say you lost your job then?
I did. I was doing sheet metal. It
Oh,
was
you
my
lost that
husband's
job.
company. Yeah.
Okay. And then was he the abusive husband?
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't physically abusive, but he was definitely verbally abusive. His stepfather had sexually assaulted me, and my husband did not say anything to him, and instead he got a new Harley Davidson to keep his mouth shut. So,
Oh, that's the way families work sometime, isn't it?
yeah, I guess so.
So, where were your parents during that part of the equation when you were having trouble with your own in-laws and your husband?
My parents were always there.
Were you able to talk to them about what was going on?
Yes, they knew, but, I mean, there wasn't really much they could do about it. I tried to file a police report, and they said that since I was intoxicated, that there wasn't really anything they could do about it because they weren't sure if I was telling the truth, so it was a really sticky situation.
So, after a sexual assault or
Mhm.
eh I mean, did you go back then when you were sober to talk to the police? Because they need to hear these stories.
I wrote a police report about it, but they were saying since I was intoxicated that they weren't sure, so it was just me, I guess, being drunk, I don't know. I
Oh
it
my god.
happened, though.
I'm so sorry that that's the way things go. Who's the one that made I know you have to make the call to John 3:16 Ministries, but Millington, Tennessee is a far enough piece down the road that it's someone had to told you about it in the Memphis area or someone knew about it. I know Mississippi, there's a big influence, not too far from Memphis in Mississippi. Who told you about John 3:16?
My dad did. My dad works in Marion, Arkansas, and some men from the ministry had came by his shop and they were talking about the ministry and I was looking for somewhere to go to get help. I tried to go to a rehab before I came to John 3 and they denied me and said I wasn't in crisis. So my dad called the next day. John 3 had been at his shop and he told me about it. So I gave him the call and here I am.
So you weren't the person that they had to have the 10 interventions with, and they were having a fit and denying that they needed help. You sounded pretty
No, ma'am.
compliant. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. I know I need this.
In the 5 years, when did it get so bad? Like, was alcohol manageable for you at one time?
Not really. I would just drink tequila straight up and I would just drink until I got drunk and I'd pass out or try to fight everybody and it was pretty quick, honestly. Once I knew I could drink and not think about things, I was definitely drinking hardcore.
Got it. Do you have a rap sheet? Any
I have 2 assault charges.
Okay. That's not uncommon. I was just thinking, did you have to spend any time in jail?
I spent about a week in jail. I've still got pending cases right now.
Did that wake you up?
No, it didn't.
Hmm. Uh, so tell people what happens when you have to make the call. Brian Tuggle is very adamant that the addict, alcoholic, the person in crisis, because you were in crisis. I'm sorry that the rehab you went to, I don't know what they define as in crisis. Then I mean, you're saying you need help. So tell me what happens. Your dad tells you, and did you cheerfully run to the phone saying, "Okay, I've got to call these people," or were you still thinking, "I can do this at home"?
At first, honestly, when he called me, I told him there was no way I was gonna leave my daughter that
Okay,
long,
right.
and after he and I got off the phone, I thought about it for a minute, and I was like, 6 months to a year is nothing compared to the time I've wasted being drunk and not being there for my daughter. So, I just realized I had to make the call and that I needed to go ahead and just do this. I was tired of going to treatment centers and tired of getting home and just drinking again, and I was over that lifestyle.
And you were miserable physically,
Absolutely,
right?
yes.
Not just emotionally, but physically. Where were you spiritually at this time, Alyssa?
Uh, I wasn't good, that's for sure. My dad's a very spiritual man, and he would tell me all the time that I needed God, that I needed to talk to God, and I needed to go to church, and I would just brush it off. And I didn't realize until I got here how right he was. God's taken so much from all the pain and the struggle that I had, my anxiety and panic attacks, and even my divorce. Like, I'm not even sad about that anymore. And thought that was something I would never get over, but I was able to give all that to God, and I do feel way better about my life now.
So you drank to mask the pain of the divorce.
Right.
You drank to mask the pain of failure to yourself, to your
Yes.
family. You drank to mask the pain of maybe not being the mom you wanted to be. I'm putting thoughts in your head. I'm just wondering if those are some of the things that you were thinking that had you run to a bottle and now you run to a Bible.
Yes, ma'am, absolutely.
So you make the call. They are very clear now that you could come any day of the week, but typically people come on a Sunday, right? And you do the interview.
Yes, ma'am, I was told to come on a Sunday. I called on a Wednesday, and I came on a Sunday, and I did
And
my interview, and it went just the way I want it to. I was so scared with getting rejected at the other place that they weren't gonna
Oh,
let me stay, and by the grace of God, he knew where I needed to be, and I got to stay.
who drove you there?
My dad,
About a 2 hour, 2.5 hour? How far is that from
2.5
Millington?
hours.
2.5 hours. Were you drunk when you got there?
No, ma'am.
Because most of the residents I've spoken to come and that's their last high, their last drink. How long had it been since you'd had alcohol when you came to John 3:16?
I called them on a Wednesday, I drank the day before.
Okay, so the, detox starts, like, some people, hour 24, 36. So did you feel bad Thursday, Friday, Saturday before you even got there on Sunday?
I felt really bad on Wednesday, but that was it.
The first day was it.
Mhm, yeah.
So you didn't have to do any type of detox when you got there?
No, ma'am.
That's kind of unusual from what the other residents have said, especially with
Yeah.
alcohol. The coming off al People think it's just hard drugs. People coming off alcohol, it can be a serious health crisis
Yes,
if it's
ma'am.
not addressed, and I know that they're ready there. Some of the people do go to detox, some decide to just stick it out there on the property. Now tell me, so you got there, you hand over this is a big transition people have to recognize. You hand over, obviously, your keys to your home or anything, like, you're not going home, you're not getting in a car, you don't have a car there, but also your phone and any communication devices. Tell me how hard that was.
It really wasn't that hard. After, I was married for 6 years and I didn't really have much of a social life. I stayed home, I was a wife, and yes, I was drinking, but I still had my roles as a wife and as a mother, and I didn't have a lot of friends. I have one best friend, and, I mean, she knows where I am and I'm able to write her, so it wasn't that bad. It's actually been kinda quiet. It's been nice.
Think we need the quiet.
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, think about what the Sabbath is. It's a rest. You are in kind of a longer Sabbath to rest from the world and the chatter of the world.
Yeah.
Do you miss social media?
Not at all.
Isn't that great? I love hearing
Yes.
that. I know you miss your daughter.
Absolutely. I miss her with every being of my I yes.
How many times has she been able to come see you?
She's only been twice. She's 19, so she kinda has a life of her own,
19.
and
Okay.
I don't blame her at all,
Yeah.
but I'm hoping she comes this Sunday to see me, though.
Is she angry with you?
No. We're very close, my daughter and I.
Okay. That's a good situation. Now, she's the one who had the baby.
Yes.
Have you seen the baby in person? Probably not.
No, she's actually pregnant, but
Pregnant right
I
now.
just
Okay.
found out, yeah, and it's kinda shocking, I don't know if she's ready, but it's okay. It's God blessed her with this, so we're gonna go all with it.
A friend told me once a baby's always a blessing.
Yes.
And the things it'll make your daughter grow up. It made you grow up,
Yes, it did.
so it made me grow up. It's a great time. Anytime's a great time to be a mom. Okay, so tell me what your plans are. You do wanna graduate in a month?
Yes, ma'am.
And what's next for you?
I'm planning on moving. I don't know if I'm living with my mom or dad yet. It's kind of in the air right now. I know that living with my mom, there's going to be a lot more rules. So I think that's where I need to go. And I want to get back to work and hopefully have some kind of job. We have a place called Hope Restoration that helps with addiction and it's faith based. I'm hoping to get a job there, see what that's about. And if not, I'm going to just try to find something like that. And I wanna see if the judge will let me come to, the jail and minister to some girls. I think
Good.
that would be really good.
Is that in the Memphis area, in Millington?
It's in Tipton County.
Tipton County. Okay, is that where Millington is?
Millington's in Shelby County, it's just the
Shelby
county
County.
above.
Okay.
Mhm.
Um Okay, so now let's talk about this is the other thing I think is real interesting for the people, the residents there. Tell me about your relationship with Jesus before you got there, because I know where it is now. Because if you're there, you're in God's word every day.
Yes, ma'am. Before I came here, I never read my Bible. I didn't understand it. And honestly, it just wasn't that big of a deal to me. And my dad would always try to, talk to me about God and trying to get me to go to church. And I would just rather sleep or not really listen to him. But, now I can read my Bible and I understand what I'm reading. And I know that God does do these miracles and that he can change your life if you really just give it all to him. Like, I never thought that I would be where I am today. And here I am. And I know that I can go on with my life and be happy and always talk to God. He's my best friend now. Like, I talk to him a lot. So, and I can give him those things. And I pray about my daughter every day, that he's with her, that he's, with her pregnancy and everything. And I know she's doing good. And this is the first time I've been to a treatment center and known that my daughter is going to be okay, that she's fine. God's got her, and I know that.
Had you considered traditional AA programs or anything like that? Not the inpatient, treatment center, but like an AA?
Yes, I do attend AA at home.
Okay. I just didn't know because there's only one step at John 3:16.
And
There
that's
aren't
Jesus.
12, you know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, John 3:16, thecure.com, they make it pretty clear, and I love the emphasis on Jesus. Is that something you could bring up in an AA meeting?
Absolutely. The AA meeting that I do attend at home, they're always talking about God and Jesus. And I think that that's really cool because I've heard other girls here talk about how their AA doesn't do that. And it was just kind of weird to me. But mine is a small group and it's people, I'm probably the youngest one in there, but everyone does talk about God and we pray a lot. And there's one guy who always talks about how he gives it to God, his alcoholism or his addiction. And I thought, oh, that's just great to me.
So before you came to John 3:16, you did try AA then at the meeting
Yes,
center.
ma'am.
Okay.
And I will say, like, I would go to my meetings and I would be too timid or scared to talk. But I know now that when I go home, I will be able to go to my meetings and I'll be able to share my story and talk to them more. And it can help them too, because even though they've had 20 plus years of sobriety, it's always good for them to remember what it was like, to be fresh out of that and to remember.
As you face graduation, I bet your daughter comes to that,
Yes.
and your mom and dad and whoever, will your best friend come to that?
Yes, she's supposed to.
Is that a day of tears of that you're sad you're leaving, or
I'm sure it will be mixed emotions. I do know that I will be very proud of myself for being able to complete this because I've tried treatment before and I'd always leave early and just give up. But this is really working and it's really helping me. Like, and seeing my sisters and the things that are happening for them too. It's really a faith builder for everybody here. The other day we were able to feed the men and I just remember us sitting in there and everybody was praise and worshiping and it was so loud in there and everybody was singing and I was just like, this is so cool. Like God's changing all of our lives and he's just a busy man.
he is a busy guy.
Yeah.
And that's what heaven is, just worshiping the Savior. When you
Yeah.
were saying that, I was thinking about heaven and every tongue, every nation, that will be with the Lord. And to remind people that the boys and girls don't get to see each other much, right?
No, I mean, we definitely don't look at each other or talk to each other, but we praise and worship together and it's a beautiful thing every time we do it. It's awesome knowing what God's doing in everybody's lives here.
How many women are in the program now?
I believe we have 24, 25.
And do you know how many guys are there right now?
No clue.
You may not know that. So you
Mm.
really know those women well.
Yes, I do.
And I guess you've lost some and gotten some new residents. Some graduate and
Yes, ma'am.
has there been someone who started about the same time you did?
Yes, ma'am. There's 3 of us that came in the same day.
Is that right? 3 women who came in the same day.
Yes, ma'am.
And what month was that?
We came in
September?
September.
September, okay. Because I visited in November, and I was there on a Sunday, and there were families there. Because your family has to bring you, right? Is that right? Does someone have to bring you? Well, yeah, because
I do believe someone has to bring you.
yeah,
Yeah.
because you don't have a car there.
Right, exactly.
Okay. So those same people are gonna probably pick you up on a Sunday. The other thing I love, and if you're listening or watching this and you haven't been on their social media, you need to, because you see the photo, and I also get the newsletter, so it may be there, but you see the photos of the before or when they first got to John 3:16, and then like their last day there, their countenance is different.
Yes.
Physically, they're different because getting off drugs and alcohol, I mean, physiologically, there are differences, but you can just tell their countenance is different. There's a smile on their face. It's not, life isn't as heavy and hard.
Right, and we're eating good.
Yeah,
That's for
right,
sure.
right. And you're getting sunlight every day, and you're with
Mhm.
women, and you're with people with similar stories. And the other thing I like is you all don't sit around talking about your problems. You
No.
you
No,
go to
ma'am.
Bible study.
Yes, ma'am. and we learn exactly where to take it, and we take it to the altar, and we give it to
Oh,
God.
isn't that beautiful?
Yes, ma'am.
That's what you need to do in these AA meetings. Go in there and talk about Jesus.
Oh, I trust me, girl, I got it for him.
Yeah, I didn't think you were gonna hide that. Hey, Alyssa, God bless you. What's your daughter's name?
Zoe.
Okay, Zoe. I can't wait to hear if Zoe has a boy or girl, and I hope to see you on their social media to see your progress. I mean, look what you've done. Look what God's done in
Yes,
5
ma'am.
months, and another month, and you'll be on your own. God
Yes,
bless you,
ma'am.
and congrats on a great podcast. Is this your first podcast interview?
Yes, ma'am.
Good job, girl.
Well, thank you.
Thanks for doing this. Good job tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us for the John 316 Stories of Hope podcast, highlighting the community at John 316 Ministries in Charlotte, Arkansas. Be sure to share the episode. If you need more information, hop on their website, john316thecure.com, or find them on social media.